Hello. I'm Dr. John, and this is the channel where health and education meet. You might be sabotaging your heart every day without even realizing it. Many of the foods we consume seem harmless, but in reality, they are ticking time bombs for our bodies. High blood pressure, clogged arteries, heart attack risk, these can all be caused by the choices you make in your diet. And the worst part? Most people don't realize the problem until it's too late. Have you ever felt unexplained fatigue, lack of energy, or noticed that your blood pressure is out of control? Have heart diseases run in your family, and you're afraid of going down the same path? In this video, I'll reveal the foods that are most damaging to your heart and how you can avoid these mistakes before it's too late. If you care about your health and want to live longer with more quality and vitality, stay with me until the end, because what you'll discover here could literally save your life, and that's not all. Besides showing you the villains, I'll also give you healthy alternatives to protect your heart and ensure you have more energy, vitality, and well-being. So, if you want to live longer and better, without giving up the pleasure of eating well, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and join me on this journey toward a stronger, healthier heart. Processed foods are convenient, addictive, and a true nightmare for the heart. Full of preservatives, colorants, and chemical additives, they do more harm than most people realize. These artificial ingredients increase inflammation in the body, overload the liver, and contribute to clogged arteries. And that's not all. The excess sodium and unhealthy fats found in foods like instant noodles, chips, and cold cuts can spike blood pressure, setting the stage for a heart attack or stroke. The irony? All of this is disguised with flashy labels and promises of irresistible taste, and if you think that turkey breast or that store-bought soup is harmless, think again. Most of these products contain substances like monosodium glutamate, which tricks the brain into making you eat more than you need. Furthermore, the hidden sugar in these foods affects the blood vessels and increases the risk of diabetes, one of the main causes of heart diseases. What seems convenient today could turn into a serious problem tomorrow. After all, what's the point of saving time in the kitchen if you're losing years of your life in the process? If you want to avoid this risk, start checking the labels. Opt for natural foods without an endless list of unpronounceable ingredients. A good strategy is to prepare your meals at home and avoid products that last for months on the shelf, because, if something doesn't spoil, there's a good chance it's not good for your body. The problem with processed foods is that they create a vicious cycle. The more you consume, the more your taste buds get used to the excess sodium, sugar, and fat. But there's another, even sneakier enemy that deserves your attention. They are found in filled cookies, margarine, potato chips, and even in that soft bread you love. Trans fats are the true modern poison, slowly destroying your heart in a discreet and progressive way. Created artificially to increase the shelf life of foods, these fats alter the cholesterol balance in the body, raising LDL, the bad, and lowering HDL, the good. The result? Higher risk of clogged arteries, heart attacks, and strokes. The worst part is that, despite being extremely dangerous, they are still present in many everyday products, disguised as hydrogenated vegetable fat. Have you noticed how some processed foods seem to last forever without spoiling? This happens because trans fats prevent products from becoming rancid, ensuring crunchiness and flavor for longer. But the effect on the human body is devastating. Unlike natural fats found in olive oil, avocado, or nuts, trans fats are artificial, and the body doesn't know how to process them properly. They accumulate in blood vessels, forming plaques that hinder blood flow. And you don't have to overdo it to suffer the consequences. Even small amounts consumed regularly are enough to increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases. The best way to protect yourself is to eliminate these fats from your diet. Avoid ultra-processed products and read labels carefully. If you find hydrogenated vegetable fat in the ingredient list, stay away. Opt for natural fat sources like olive oil, nuts, and omega-3 rich fish. Small changes in your daily routine can make a big difference for your health. But besides trans fats, there's another major villain that could be silently damaging your heart without you even realizing it. If there's one thing sugar knows how to do well, it's disguise itself. It's in sweets, of course, but also in ready-made sauces, bread, yogurt, and even in products you'd never imagine, like certain cold cuts. The problem? Excess sugar overloads the body, causing blood sugar spikes that inflame blood vessels and accelerate artery aging. Over time, this paves the way for heart diseases, insulin resistance, and type 2 diabetes, which, in turn, increases the risk of heart attack. In other words, every little spoonful of sugar could be shortening your life without you even realizing it. You know that quick energy burst you get after eating a sweet? It comes from the blood sugar spike, but it's short-lived. Soon after, levels drop, leaving you tired, hungry, and, guess what, craving even more sugar. This vicious cycle is a breeding ground for weight gain and chronic inflammation in the body, both directly linked to cardiovascular diseases. Additionally, excess glucose turns into triglycerides, a type of fat that accumulates in the liver and blood, raising the risk of clogged arteries. The most concerning part is that many people don't even realize how much sugar they're consuming daily. Want to reduce the impact of this invisible enemy? Start checking labels and avoid products with glucose syrup, maltodextrin, and other disguised sweeteners. Opt for natural foods like fresh fruits, and try alternatives like coconut sugar or honey in small amounts. Small changes already make a difference in your body's balance. Sausages, ham, and bacon. These foods may seem harmless, but they are true bombs for the heart. Processed meats go through various preservation stages, which include the addition of nitrates, nitrites, and an absurd amount of sodium. These compounds not only raise blood pressure but also contribute to the hardening of the arteries, making it harder for blood to circulate. Frequent consumption is linked to a higher risk of heart disease and is even on the World Health Organization's list of potentially carcinogenic foods. In other words, that breakfast with ham could be costing you more than you imagined. In addition to preservatives, the problem lies in the excess of saturated fat found in processed meats. Unlike the good fats found in olive oil or fish, this fat deposits in the arteries, encouraging the formation of plaques that can lead to heart attacks and strokes. And don't think that light or smoked versions are safer. The truth is, any processed meat presents risks. To make matters worse, these products tend to be highly palatable, meaning they are addictive, making consumption frequent without the person realizing the health impact. If you want to protect your heart, the solution is to reduce the consumption of these meats and prioritize natural proteins, like eggs, chicken, fish, and lean cuts of red meat without preservatives. Try substituting ham with shredded chicken or bacon with grilled mushrooms. Your body will thank you. But if you think processed meats are dangerous, wait until you discover the impact of beverages many people consume every day without realizing the harm they are doing. Nothing seems more harmless than an ice-cold soda on a hot day. But the truth is, these drinks are one of the biggest enemies of the heart. With high amounts of sugar and industrialized fructose, they shoot up blood glucose levels, generating insulin spikes that promote visceral fat accumulation, the kind that surrounds the organs and increases the risk of heart attacks. In addition, frequent consumption leads to insulin resistance, opening the doors to type 2 diabetes and exacerbating cardiovascular diseases. And if you think zero versions are better, here's a warning: artificial sweeteners can deceive your brain, increasing cravings for ultra-processed foods, and it's not just soda that hides dangers. Boxed juices, industrialized teas, and even sports drinks sold as healthy often contain high doses of sugar and chemical additives. To give you an idea, a single glass of industrialized juice can contain more sugar than a chocolate bar. The problem is that because they are in liquid form, these calories are absorbed quickly, overloading the liver and contributing to fat buildup in the body. Over time, this effect leads to increased bad cholesterol and hardened arteries. If the goal is to keep the heart healthy, the best choice is to opt for water, natural teas, and juices made with real fruit without added sugar. Try replacing soda with sparkling water and lemon or iced green tea. Besides being refreshing, they are beneficial for metabolism. Small changes like this already make a big difference to your health. But if you think the sugar in drinks is a villain, wait until you find out what excessive salt can do to your arteries. Salt is an essential seasoning in the kitchen, but when consumed excessively, it can become poison for the heart. The sodium in salt retains fluids in the body, increasing blood volume and overloading the heart. This effect causes high blood pressure, one of the biggest risk factors for heart attacks and strokes. And the worst part, most people consume much more salt than they realize. In addition to what is added to food, sodium is present in processed foods like ready-made sauces, canned goods, processed meats, and even bread. So even if you don't overdo it with the salt shaker, you could still be consuming dangerous doses of this mineral without realizing it, but it doesn't stop there. Excess salt consumption causes artery stiffening, reducing flexibility and hindering blood flow. Over time, this hardening can lead to arteriosclerosis, a serious condition that increases the chances of blockages in blood vessels and clot formation. Studies show that people who reduce their sodium intake can significantly lower the risk of heart problems. The big issue is that the palate gets accustomed to high doses of salt, making it difficult to cut consumption overnight. But there are effective strategies to reverse this situation. If you want to protect your heart, start by replacing salt with natural seasonings like garlic, turmeric, oregano, and lemon. Reduce processed food consumption and try preparing your own meals at home, controlling the amount of sodium. Small dietary changes are enough to improve cardiovascular health. But what happens when we combine excessive salt with foods loaded with bad fats, quick, cheap, and addictive? Fast food has become part of the daily life of millions, but few realize the true damage it causes to the body. These foods are a dangerous combination of trans fats, sodium, and hidden sugars, creating the perfect cocktail for inflammation in the body and artery blockage. The excess of fried foods, refined oils, and ultra-processed ingredients contributes to the increase of bad cholesterol, LDL, and the reduction of good cholesterol, HDL, which facilitates fat plaque buildup in blood vessels. The result? A much higher risk of heart attacks and chronic diseases. And don't think that only hamburgers are to blame. French fries, nuggets, ready-made sauces, and even some fast food salads are loaded with preservatives, sugars, and flavor enhancers that stimulate the brain to want more. That's why after eating fast food, hunger returns quickly. The body received empty calories, but not the necessary nutrients to stay healthy. Additionally, many of these foods contain high fructose corn syrup, a sweetener that overloads the liver and raises triglyceride levels in the blood, contributing to cardiovascular problems. If you want to protect your heart, it's time to rethink these choices. Replacing fast food with homemade meals might seem like a challenge at first, but there are quick and healthy alternatives that are just as delicious. Grilled chicken burgers, baked potatoes seasoned with herbs, and natural smoothies are options that satisfy without harming health. Making these changes can transform your quality of life. But what about alcoholic beverages? Do they really harm the heart, or is there a positive side to moderate consumption? Many people believe that a glass of wine is good for the heart, and indeed, some studies suggest benefits with moderate consumption. However, the real issue is that few people actually drink in a balanced way. Excessive alcohol consumption has a devastating impact on the cardiovascular system, raising blood pressure, overloading the liver, and increasing the risk of arrhythmias. Moreover, alcoholic beverages are highly caloric, and when consumed regularly, they contribute to weight gain, a factor that is directly linked to heart problems. What was supposed to be a toast to health can turn into a true silent nightmare. Another major issue with alcohol is its inflammatory effect on the body. It increases the production of free radicals, which accelerate cellular aging and weaken blood vessels. Furthermore, alcohol can raise triglyceride levels, a type of fat in the blood that, in excess, increases the risk of coronary diseases. People who consume alcohol frequently also tend to have irregular diets, ingesting more ultra-processed and fatty foods, which further amplifies the damage to the heart. And if you think only distilled spirits are dangerous, know that even beers and seemingly harmless drinks hide traps for your health. If the goal is to preserve the heart, the best strategy is moderation. For those who enjoy drinking, limiting consumption to occasional doses and opting for healthier choices, like a good dry red wine, can minimize the negative impacts. But for those already facing health issues, reducing or eliminating alcohol may be the smartest decision. Now that we've discussed the main villains, the big question is, how can you reverse this damage and strengthen your heart starting today? Now that you know the villains that can harm your heart, it's time to take action and protect your cardiovascular health. The good news is that by making more conscious choices, you can reverse much of the damage and put your heart on the path to longevity. The first and most important change is adopting a balanced diet, rich in natural foods such as fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and lean proteins. Replacing ultra-processed foods and fried items with healthier options will reduce inflammation in the body, improve cholesterol levels, and help maintain weight control, all of which are essential for heart health. Additionally, regular physical activity is crucial. It doesn't have to be something extreme, like marathons, but activities such as walking, swimming, or even yoga bring significant benefits. Physical activity strengthens the heart, improves blood circulation, and helps control blood pressure, combating hypertension. And there's more. When you exercise, the body releases endorphins, substances that improve mood and reduce stress, another factor that directly contributes to heart health. The secret is to gradually incorporate these changes, making them part of your routine. Finally, don't forget to care for your mind. Chronic stress is one of the greatest enemies of the heart, so find ways to relax and alleviate the tension of everyday life. Meditation, deep breathing, and mindfulness practices can be extremely effective. And if you haven't started doing this, begin today by monitoring your cardiovascular health and making choices that will preserve your long-term well-being. Now, if you think taking care of your heart is a difficult task, wait until you discover what else you can do for a long and healthy life. We've reached the end of this video, and now you have the tools to protect your heart. We know that, often, changing habits may seem challenging, but remember, the first step has already been taken. Now, it's up to you to take control of your health and make more conscious choices in your daily life. So, I ask, are you ready to take this step? Are you willing to adopt healthy habits and begin transforming your cardiovascular health now? Every decision you make, from choosing a healthier meal to exercising regularly, can be the key to ensuring a healthier future with fewer risks. Don't put off until tomorrow what can be done today. Every small change will already make a big difference to your heart. And remember, it's not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. So, how about starting now? Replace that greasy meal with a healthy option and take the first step to care for yourself. And if you want to continue learning more about improving your health, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and follow our videos. We are in this journey for health and longevity together, and I'm sure you can achieve the best for your body. Let's go, your heart deserves the best.